of going to pick our colleague and bring him to Nairobi. I plead with you to raise whatever your heart will find comfortable so that we can give him a befitting send-off. In fact, if it was within my power, and I did speak to one of the advisors of the President of the Republic of Kenya, Zamba Gitonga ought to be given a state funeral. But let's do that which is within our ability to do. 1958 is a long time from now. Who was born then? Kariuki, you were born, but I'm sure you didn't know of what Fidel Castro was doing then as a young man. Fidel Castro's younger brother, Raul Castro, and Fidel raided a police station to steal firearms so that they could start a revolution against the American-sponsored despot Baptista. On their way out, after going with weapons, he asked his IDD camp, and where is Raul? They can't say him. I think Baptista's men got hold of him. Then he said, we gotta go and get Fidel, we gotta go and get Raul. And they went and got Raul. They lost 15 men, but they got Raul out. 1983, how many people were born? 83. Two young men, bosom friends, Captain Blaise Compaoré and Captain Thomas Sankara, said it's now time for us to liberate Burkina Faso. And they did liberate Burkina Faso. They ruled very well for about 4 years. In 1987, in the month of October, a few weeks ago, Blaise Compaoré ensured the death of Thomas Sankara. Thomas Sankara knew, and like Fidel Castro, who in his youth said, at no one point in time after he graduated from law school did he ever walk alone. He was always with men around him and a pistol on his waist. So did Thomas Sankara. But Thomas Sankara told his military advisors, what can we do on the face of machine gun firepower? If they want to kill us, let them kill us tomorrow. And they all died, the 14 of them. But Burkina Faso is most remembered because of Thomas Sankara, not because of Blaise Compaoré. Fidel Castro didn't think he would live to his 40s. The old man lived until 84. These are the tales of revolutionaries. These are the tales of people who decide to do good. Often, they will be attacked and castigated. Bernard Kipkoech, you can either be my Raul or you can be Blaise Compaoré. There is very little I can do in the face of machine gun firepower. I therefore ask you to lead the troops that are with you out of the garrison and back. It is not that we cannot fight back, but we cannot fight back against machine gun firepower. I want myself to stand here, as did our chairperson, Linda Kiome, and say, I get a lot of support from my council members. I want us to stand here and get a lot of satisfaction from what we've heard from Waziri, from what we've heard from Governor Kiraitu Murungi, and from what we've heard from the Ombudsman, Madam Kajuju. I always like Madam Kajuju. She may not know, but when they were campaigning together with President Akide, I was the one in charge of the young advocates. And I really admired her. She reminded me of that auntie you'll always want to be with when she visits. And in Florence Kajuju, there is this one. They have a smiling vice president from Alliance. In fact, when we are about to take a photograph, I always have to remind her, please smile in a photographic way. The people of Mount Kenya, the chair of Mount Kenya branch, the branch officials in the council, the chapter chairs, and learned colleagues, I must congratulate you today, because today is a day that you've laid a foundation that even me, I have admired, a foundation that will propel you to greater heights. You've done us proud. And as the National Office of the Law Society, I want to assure you of our unwavering support towards making Mount Kenya branch prosperous. And I say this with a lot of conviction because I find more acceptance in Mount Kenya than even my home in Kakamega. When I took my vice president to Kakamega, we addressed a gathering of 5 advocates at around 5. When in February I was about to give up on this race for president, Ken Muruki, who was a few classes ahead of me at Parklands, called me and told me, Havi, you need to come to Mount Kenya. You see, you may be laboring in this false notion that the people of Mount Kenya may not like you, but you are wrong. Come here. We are members of the Brave New Bar, and we want your presence here. And I said, as the American Air Force and Army says, we will send the Chinooks and we'll put boots on the ground. So I came to Mount Kenya and I found boots already on the ground. I found Major General Jomo here. I found Major General Calvin Otieno C. on the ground. I found Mutuma. I found many people. And when I left Meru in the evening at about 6, I had the conviction that there are many times that I could be wrong. And this was one of the times that I was very wrong. And as the day succeeds night, come the 27th of February, the overwhelming vote that secured our success to restore the lost glory of the Law Society of Kenya did not come from Western Kenya, did not come from Luo Nyanza. It came from Mount Kenya. And if I labored any restrictions on account of region or ethnicity, I must say that running for office has educated me considerably. It has enabled me to dissuade myself of certain notions that have no foundation whatsoever. It is for that reason, therefore, that 2 weeks after our election to office, we came to Embu to say thank you. It was my expectation that I could drive all the way to Meru, but we didn't have sufficient time. Many of you came to Embu and we returned thanks together at Isaac Walton. We also went to, where did we go? Was it Nanyuki or Kerugoya? And we played football. And we must be in CR12 or CR13. CR12 and this team really gave us a run for our feet. But I dared them, let's get into the swimming pool. hapo tuliwashinda. It is for that reason that I must encourage you to continue being united as you are. The next time that I came to Meru was 3 days after an attempted assassination on my very good friend Bogo. And I told my vice president, we must proceed with haste to go and see what is happening. And when we reached here, I was very happy to find Bogo live and kicking. And the practice of law is a very perilous practice. You will never hear of an engineer, a doctor, a teacher, an architect harmed or killed in the line of duty. An advocate will always be under fire in the line of duty. And I want to speak because I know those who listen and those who hear and see are able to listen and hear. I want the practice law environment to be protected so that you can be guaranteed as advocates practicing in Mount Kenya that you not be associated with your client or your client's causes, and that you can go home comfortable, that you've performed a professional duty and nobody is running after you. For that reason, I want to call upon the Minister in charge of Interior and the Inspector General of the National Police Service to ensure that advocates are always protected in their line of service. It is very important. We are synonymous to officers in combat. We require protection. Mount Kenya, and Meru in particular, is privileged. You have a governor who is a lawyer, not just a lawyer, an accomplished lawyer. One who went to Alliance. Well, I didn't go to Alliance, but my wife went to Alliance. One who went to the University of Nairobi. One who went to Harvard. I wish you would have been here to listen, because I remember in 2002, when I was a people chambering with Salim Danji, we were appearing before Justice Joyce Alwash. I think our chamber was chamber 17, just near what is now currently the DCJ's office. And I saw this gentleman who was walking very straight and meticulous with premeditation. He wouldn't even collide with a fly. And he was holding a pilot case, but still standing straight. Then I stretched my neck to check. It was Kiraitu Murungi, the man I'd only seen on TV and newspapers. And you empower community when you elect lawyers as leaders. Look at what you've had and gotten today. You've been given 2 pieces of land or property where you'll be able to erect an ultra-modern court of appeal, where you'll be able to house magistrates to entertain small claims. And he does that with pride. So let us, as the people of Mount Kenya, emulate His Excellency Kiraitu Murungi, and also emulate Florence Kajuju. They're the beacon of hope. For that reason, therefore, when the President of the Republic of Kenya eventually dissolves Parliament, as he ought to do, I want you to run for office. Ken Muriuki, run for office. Mutuma, run for office. Calvin Otieno C. Okay, fine. You wait. Linda Kiome, run for office. And you must run for office, especially ladies. There are those who will mislead you that Havi looks upon the ladies in the council. I think you see for yourself. You also hear. You've seen photographs of me posting from my office. We're working up to midnight with these ladies, drafting petitions. I want ladies empowered. And I don't say this in jest, because I'm a product of an empowered woman. And for that reason, when Parliament is dissolved, I will go and campaign for my mother, Madam Grace Obwamo, to run for member of National Assembly for Likuyani. So, with gender equity and parity guaranteed in the Constitution, all of you, men and women, must come out and assert the rule of law and constitutionalism. We cannot make changes on gender equity laws before they are implemented. It's as simple as that. It's not broken. Why do we need to fix it? We want to stand for the rule of law and constitutionalism. My colleague, I saw him speak yesterday about the inadequacy of judicial officers here. We have 40 judges who were recommended for appointment by the Judicial Service Commission. They have been languishing in jurisprudential purgatory for the last 1 year. The whole dual nationality, not acceptable in the bar, not acceptable on the bench. What are we doing about this? We need to do something. We need to ensure that those who hold the highest responsibility perform their duties. Because when we don't have judges, the courtrooms that we are making will be of no value to us. The court complex we have in Embu can accommodate up to 7 judges. Same here, what we want to make. As and when, and I propose to rally your support, that we get into the streets to demand the swearing of the judges, I want to plead with you to come out. Because there will be no propriety in us seeking to replace the retired Chief Justice David Maraga, seeking to replace retired Judge Professor Jackton Ojwang. Yet the judges who have already been recommended for appointment have not been sworn in. And it must pain you, because I know in your midst there are many who will want to be judges, to be magistrates. We be objective, we have an open mind, interrogate the BBI report thoroughly. You know, the political class has the wherewithal of pushing through any agenda. If they want what is put in the BBI to be implemented, it will be implemented, because the voting population will always follow what they say. But if that be the eventuality, I want us to have a critical, analytical, objective review of the BBI. In particular, insofar as it relates to the justice sector. Shall we have an independent judiciary if we reduce the number of judges and advocates who sit in the Judicial Service Commission? Will we have a strong and bold judiciary if we house within that judiciary an ombudsperson appointed by the executive? These are the things that we need to consider. We need to ensure that the judiciary is adequately funded. The reason why right now we cannot get optimum use of the e-filing is because the Treasury has not disbursed 500 million that has been requested for by the Chief Justice, which he keeps on asking for every day to enable a seamless transformation from analog to digital. I want you, as and when we speak about these issues, to stand with us, so that we make progress. We must make progress during our time. His Excellency also spoke about the issue of the Senior Council. When we reopened applications for this year on the 3rd of September, I remember cascading this message to all the branches and chapters, and I said, it is imperative that we have at least 2 senior counsel from every upcountry branch. Now, by the time COVID hit us in March, we had received only 11 applications for this year. The Secretariat closed. Many members were asking, what can we do about it? And being your firstmost representative to the Committee on Senior Council, I conferred with other members and we reopened that exercise. We received about 45 applications. Litigation has been instituted by my predecessor. Challenging what? Challenging the reality that we have allowed 45 members to be considered for conferment, in his view, to the detriment of the 11, including him. It is shocking for me to report that when that litigation was instituted, it was concealed so that we do not know of its filing. The expectation was that they will get an order without opposition. When it came to my attention, I took action to defend it. And you will see this resolution circulating. We do not require resolutions to instruct an advocate to defend a cause. It has never been the case. But more fundamentally, it is not proper for those who have been elected to serve to take a course that compromises the interests of the members. As I said before, I stand here like Fidel Castro or Thomas Sankara. There is very little I can do with a small caliber weapon. The state has realized how impactful the Law Society is. We have distinguished ourselves in monitoring legislation. We've gone to Parliament to ensure that there are good laws that are put in place. And when Parliament failed, we were at the forefront to ask the Chief Justice to advise the dissolution of Parliament. He did. We have therefore, good friends, satisfactorily accomplished one of our agenda items, monitoring legislation. We have, in the last 8 months, tried as best as we can to ensure that there are good decisions coming from the executive. And where those decisions do not meet the test, we've gone to court. You've seen this. We've come out to ensure that courts and registries are open, notwithstanding the handicaps we faced during the pandemic period. We will be having our last meeting of the NCAJ with the Chief Justice on Friday. I will also be seeing the Chief Justice in Siaya on, when is today? 27th. Today is Wednesday or Tuesday? Yeah, I've lost track of time. I'll be seeing him in Siaya when he inaugurates the courthouse there. And I will bring to his attention the lamentations that I've received from you, insofar as the opening of the courts is concerned, insofar as the need for us to innovate and work within the confines. It will be a long time before we get another Chief Justice. It could be 6 months or even a year. But I want, before he leaves on the 12th of January, to ensure that he has left the house slightly in order for us, his children, to thrive in this environment. I want to guarantee you of my unwavering support towards ensuring that Mount Kenya as a branch succeeds. Where you need money, where you need facilitation, I will work hand in hand with your chair. I will work hand in hand with my brother here, Raul, to ensure that we deliver. We cannot destroy our present, because if we destroy our present, we'll have no future. It has been a long day. We need to eat. Isn't it? We need to eat. And because I'm an old man, after we've eaten, for those who are communicant Englishmen, we also can bless a drink. Ama namna gani? Sawa sawa. Mungu awabariki mawakili wa Mount Kenya. Nawapenda sana. Tuwe na uwiano, tuhakikishe kwamba sheria na utengamano na uongozi bora wa maadili mema unadumishwa Mount Kenya na Kenya kwa ujumla. Asanteni sana.